Finally, let me share a personal incident that taught me the effects of hiding our feelings. I was teaching a course in nonviolent communication to a group of inner-city students. When I walked into the room the first day, the students, who had been enjoying a lively conversation with each other, became quiet, looked down, looked out the window. They didn't look at all interested in being there. I said good morning, and in the silence I felt very uncomfortable. I didn't feel connection with them, but I was afraid to express it. Instead, I proceeded in my most professional manner by saying, "For this class, we will be studying a process of communication that I hope you will find helpful in your relationships at home and with your friends." I continued to present information about the process, but no one seemed to be listening. One girl, rummaging through her bag, fished out a file and began vigorously filing her nails. Students near the windows glued their faces to the pane as if fascinated by what was going on in the street below. I felt increasingly more uncomfortable, yet I didn't say it. I just continued on. Finally, a student who had certainly more courage than I was demonstrating piped up, "You just hate being with black people, don't you?" I was stunned, yet immediately realized how I had contributed to this misperception by hiding my discomfort that I was actually feeling at not getting the connection with them that I'd like. I said, "I am feeling nervous, but not because you're black. My feelings have to do with my not knowing anyone here, and I wanted to be accepted, and when I came in the room, from the reaction I got, it didn't meet my need for acceptance." This expression of my vulnerability had a pronounced effect on the students. They started to ask questions about me, to tell me things about themselves, and they were then much better able to learn what I had to offer about nonviolent communication. A common confusion generated by the English language is our use of the word feel without actually expressing a feeling when we do use the verb. For example, in the sentence, "I feel I didn't get a fair," the word feel is followed. "I feel" could be more accurately replaced with "I think." In general, feelings are not being clearly expressed when the word feel is followed by words such as that, like, as if, in sentences like, "I feel that you should know better," "I feel like a failure," "I feel as if I'm living with a wall." Also, this is seen in pronouns, I, you, he, she, they, it, saying, "I feel I am constantly on call," "I feel it is useless," or when we follow the word feel with names or nouns referring to people. "I feel Amy has been pretty responsible," "I feel my boss is being manipulated." So even though the word feel is used in these sentences, what follows is not what I would call an emotion or a feeling. In the English language, it isn't necessary at all to use the word feel when we are actually expressing a feeling. We can say, "I'm feeling irritated," or simply, "I'm irritated." In nonviolent communication, we distinguish between words that express actual feelings and those that describe what we think we are. A description of what we think we are might be, "I feel inadequate as a guitar player." In this statement, I'm assessing my ability as a guitar player rather than clearly expressing my feelings. What would be an expression of feelings might sound like this: "I feel impatient with myself as a guitar player. I feel disappointed in my guitar playing. I feel frustrated when I play the guitar." The actual feeling behind my assessment of myself as inadequate could therefore be disappointment, impatience, frustration, or some other emotion. So just saying what we think we are doesn't really capture the feeling. Likewise, it's helpful to differentiate between words that describe what we think others are doing around us and words that describe actual feelings. The following are examples of statements that are easily mistaken as expressions of feelings. In fact, they reveal more how we think others are behaving than what we are actually feeling ourselves. Example 1, "I feel unimportant to the people with whom I work." The word unimportant describes how I think others are evaluating me, rather than how I'm actually feeling. In this situation, I might feel sad or discouraged. A second example, I feel misunderstood. Here the word misunderstood indicates my assessment of the other person's level of understanding, rather than an actual feeling. In this situation, I might be feeling anxious or annoyed or some other emotion. A third example, I feel ignored. Again, this is more of an interpretation of the actions of others rather than a clear statement of how we are feeling. No doubt there have been times when we thought we were being ignored and our feeling was relief because we wanted to be left to ourselves. No doubt there were other times, however, when we felt hurt when we thought we were being ignored because we had wanted to be involved. Words like ignored express how we interpret others rather than how we feel. So let me give you some more of these words that I think are often mixed up with feeling words and give quite different connections with other people than if we used words which better express the feelings. So, again, I want to stress the following are not what I would call feeling words. I feel abandoned, abused, attacked, betrayed, cheated, coerced, interrupted, manipulated, neglected, overworked, unwanted, unappreciated, rejected, put down. So in expressing our feelings, it helps to use words that refer to specific emotions rather than words that are vague or general. For example, if we say, I feel good about that, the word good could mean happy, excited, relieved, or any other emotions. Which is good and bad prevent the listener from connecting easily with what we are actually feeling. So I'd like us to check out to see whether I've made clear what are feelings and what are forms of communications that I don't see as feelings. Let me give several statements and see if you feel they are feelings or not. And then I'll tell you what my reaction is. Number one comes after the I feel you don't love me. I would not call that a feeling. Notice the word you comes after the word feel. It wasn't a feeling. When I say I feel you don't love me, I might feel sad, discouraged, might even be angry, depending on how I was interpreting things. So I would not call I feel you don't love me a feeling. Number two, I'm sad that you're leaving because I really value our connection. I would call this a feeling because of the word sad. Number three, I feel scared right now. My need for connection is being threatened. I would say a feeling is expressed there by the word scared. Number four, when you don't greet me, I feel neglected. I would not call that sentence one in which a feeling was expressed because the word neglected is for me not an emotion, it's more an interpretation. I would have preferred it to be sounding something like this. When you don't greet me, I feel sad, hurt, discouraged. Number five, I'm happy that you can come to my party. I'd say a feeling was expressed here, happy. Number six, you're disgusting. No, of course I wouldn't call this a feeling. That's a diagnosis of the other person. If I said I feel disgusted right now because my needs aren't getting met, that's different for me than you're disgusting. Number seven, I feel like hitting you. I would not call that a feeling. That tells me what the person has an image of doing. But I don't know whether that person's scared and wanting to protect themselves by hitting the others, whether they're angry. Could be other feelings as well. Number eight, I feel misunderstood. I wouldn't call misunderstood a feeling. It's one of those words, it's more for me a diagnosis of the other person. I don't know whether the speaker's feeling frustrated, annoyed, sad, discouraged, whatever. Number 9. I feel good about what you did for me. Here the word good is more vague than I would like it to be. I would like us to have a richer vocabulary than that. I would like it to have been expressed like I feel deep gratitude, or I feel pleasure, or I feel happy. Not a vague word like good. Number 10, I'm worthless. I would call that a self-judgment, not a feeling. I would have preferred the person to express the feeling more clearly. If they had been feeling, I feel depressed, I would have preferred that. I feel frustrated, discouraged. Now, as important as feelings are, we don't want to just express our feelings. If I say I'm feeling irritated, it's not enough. We don't want to just express our feelings without some other things connected to them. For example, anytime we express a feeling of discomfort, we want to connect that to the need which is the cause of the feeling. And we want to add a clear request of what we want from the other person that would alleviate our discomfort.